Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you attending the 12-step roadmap training today. Today we're going to be talking about our most valuable asset. It's really interesting in our business. We've recently hired a few different individuals in different departments. We brought on 2 new individuals in our social media department. We brought on another communication specialist, and I love bringing in new people because every time we do, they open up blind spots or remove blind spots that allow us to see areas of opportunities that we are missing. And the last conversation we had with them really hit home, and I wanted to switch gears. I know last week we had a complicated training on backlinking and website infrastructure and so forth, and today I want to slow it down a little bit, and I want to get down to the grassroots of why you're in business, what keeps you here, and make sure that we're all taking advantage of our most valuable assets, which is our list, our customer list. Bottom line is, my guess is, and you guys feel free to send a chat and let me know your thoughts, but email marketing has probably always been something you wanted to do. It's always on the list, right? Every year, every quarter, when you're doing your business plan, you're thinking about how you're going to leverage your database. For some of you, it may be how you're going to start a database, how you're going to centralize your contacts. Maybe you have a business that's primarily operated off of paper or faxed-in contracts, and I see that a lot in the contractor industries. And maybe you haven't used a CRM system. We've got quite a few trainings on CRM systems, so I'm not going to go into that right now. However, I do want to address email marketing and utilizing your list. Our most valuable assets, hands down, are our existing customer base, prospects, vendors, partners, people who are referring you business or who have referred you business in the past or who would potentially refer you in the future. Your existing and past client base is an incredible source of opportunity for new business from old clients, referrals from old clients. They should be your absolute best sales force, knowing your products, your services, your model, and also reactivation. So maybe you did business with a client in the past, your company's grown and developed, and you now offer different or new or better services or have better customer service or whatever your business is. There's an area of opportunity for you to generate additional referrals, increase customer retention, increase reactivation, and new sales from existing clients. And so I really want to hit home on this today. My goal is to uncomplicate this and to make it easy, because I know that this is a challenge for a lot of businesses. If it's a challenge for you, let me know. Type in the message in the chat in the right-hand side in the window, and that way I can concentrate on you guys as well. So first and foremost, you've got to have a database, right? There's recommendations for CRM systems. You can be using Salesforce or some of the more Actor or Sugar or some of the more complicated CRM systems. You may be using a mid-tier CRM, a Mothernote account, or you may be a junkie for open source, which we are definitely. So we use Podio. It's Podio as our CRM system. Essentially, being able to collect and sort and categorize a list of each of the types of prospects, individuals, and so forth into a central database so that you have access to them is going to be important. Now, many of you that are attending are using an email platform. Either you're using Gmail as a POP3 mail server, or maybe you're using Outlook. I'm going to focus on Gmail today. So first and foremost, I'm going to move over to jenniferbagley.com, and I wrote an article yesterday, and I wanted to share this with you. I'm just going to go into the learning section. I've got categories up here: learning, living, loving, live, and laughing. We're going to concentrate on learning today, so we're going to go in organic SEO versus pay-per-click. Sounds like it might be a little bit off topic, but you guys have heard me continuously talk about your message, which is your voice, and your voice equals content. And everything starts with that, right? You spend your days day in and day out going to sales meetings, presentations, networking events, on conference calls and boardroom presentations, communicating with prospects, vendors, customers, and so forth about what it is that you do. And that voice If it's only done on an individual level where it's you in a boardroom or you on a conference call or you in a sales presentation or on a customer service call, the challenge with that is you're answering those questions over and over and over and over again, sometimes possibly feeling a little bit like Groundhog's Day. So, number one, first and foremost, is taking that voice, your knowledge, your expertise, your information. My guess is if you're on this call, you're probably one of the best salespeople for your corporation or company. We need to take your voice and we need to digitize it. We need to figure out what is it that your prospects are asking? What questions do they have? What comparisons are they doing? What are some of their concerns? What are their objections? And it's your job to not just answer those to the person that's sitting on the other line of a conference call, but also to the millions or thousands or hundreds of people who are online asking those same questions. So I just started with, we're going to focus on our list, and this is all going to come together in just a second. First things first is understanding that we've got to digitize your content. So I'm going to talk a little bit about organic SEO versus pay-per-click. If you haven't read this article, definitely go check it out. At the very bottom of the article, you can leave your thoughts down here on our Facebook commenting system and let us know what your thoughts are. You can also ask questions, and of course, we read these regularly, and we'd be happy to answer those questions for you as well. So this is pretty simple. We're talking about winning new business. It can be expensive. And having enough great content for your campaigns has got to be a priority. If you are on some type of an SEO program, your SEO team is going to be asking you for 1 page per phrase that is for your primary key phrases. And in addition to that, coming up with additional variations of that phrase is going to be important. And I'm working backwards in email marketing, so bear with me. So one of our key phrases is SEO. Do I want to compete for search engine optimization? Probably not. One of the largest and most competitive search phrases on the planet. However, people do comparisons on a regular basis. One of the comparisons is, what do I do? Do I spend my time on organic SEO or pay-per-click? I want you to think about this. The actual costs. The first and foremost is realizing that there is short-term gains and long-term compounding interest activities. When you go, and if you guys can create a spreadsheet or create a Word document that has one column on the left-hand side that says short-term and one on the right-hand side that says long-term, or even more importantly, compounding results. When you go to a sales presentation or a meeting, most likely that's a short-term activity, one-to-one. When you take the conversation that you had in that meeting that turned into this amazing conversation about your products or services, the industry, their needs, their questions, their objections, and you put it into a piece of content that is either in the form of text on a blog that's properly built, or in the form of a video, which is hosted and ran on YouTube, you have a piece of content that provides you with compounding interest impacts on your results. Something you can use and reuse over and over and over again. That piece of content will work on your social media marketing campaigns, your SEO campaigns, your video marketing campaigns, and your email marketing campaigns. If you spend money on a click, for example, $15 for the word HTML templates, and that's your AdWords cost, versus you write an article, and this article, over time, the longer that you have this article on your website, the more powerful it becomes. The more times you take this article and you share this article across your social media networks, the more powerful it becomes. Same thing with video. The two most compounding interest things you can do is going to be creating content and video. Now, do you have to do this yourself? Absolutely not. You guys, we just had a client that came in and they ordered a bulk order of over 100 pages written. So we send out an email to all of our clients and we said, if you want to get in on this order, We just got a heck of a deal with an SEO writing agency that is giving us one article for 20 bucks. If you can imagine spending $20 on one article, that is going to give you a permanent asset with compounding interest on your business for web, search, social, mobile, email, and video. That is powerful. 20 bucks. So for some of you, you may want to write your own content. For many others, it's hard to do, and that's difficult to fit into your schedule simply because right now you're kind of sitting in a hamster wheel, spinning and spinning and spinning and doing the same thing over and over again. So the first thing we've got to do is we've got to buy in. Number one, first and foremost, this is very simple. You've got to change your thinking to be able to change your results. Once you change your thinking, you can change your behavior. Once you change your behavior, you're going to do activities, hopefully. And let's go back to that document. On the right-hand side, these would be considered high-leveraged activities. High-leveraged activities. So here's a very simple article. You guys go check this out. Now, the benefit to this. I'm going to go back to Google, and I'm going to simply jump in. If you guys are not on Google, that's a whole nother training. We probably have 30 videos in 12steproadmap.com's webinar series. Go check out all of the Google training videos, and it will show you what an amazing suite of tools that Google has. Today, we're going to concentrate specifically on email newsletters. So inside email newsletters, or inside email news, you can install a plugin. This is an extension called Flash Issue. So you can go here and say Flash Issue. You can tell I was looking for a promo code. Issue email news. Let's go Flash Issue email newsletter, and this is the Flash Issue page right here. You can also, so this is going to explain this particular program. It's a Gmail newsletter application. Now, I'm going to go to Flash Issue, and I'm going to say Create New, and it's going to simply pull up my email editing software inside your Gmail account. Now, they do have a free application. If you guys want to get an idea of different types of plans that they have, start off with the free one, get comfortable with it. It's a 60-day trial, no credit cards, no contracts. There's no reason not to do this. You can send out 10 newsletters in that time frame. So 25 contacts, unlimited emails, mailing lists, and so forth. You guys jump in here, sign up for an account, install the application on your Gmail account. And once you're in here, we're just going to go to Flash Issue. So you'll notice here on the left-hand side, I have Flash Issue up at the top, but I also have it on the left-hand side. And it says Create New, Editor, Drafts, Reports, and Lists. I'm going to go ahead and increase the size of this so you guys can see a little bit better while maintaining aspect ratio. Now, there is templates that are included in here. And remember, if you are overanalyzing the look or view or styling of the template, maybe you've been in Constant Contact or MailChimp, and they have all of these really fancy and flashy newsletters, I want you to stop and think, have you sent out a newsletter consistently in the past 12 months? If the answer is no, we're going to write this down. Production before perfection. Production before perfection. A lot of times people get hung up in perfection with their websites, with their newsletters, and it simply stops them and halts them right in their track. Today, we're going to be thinking with the mindset of production before perfection. We're going to get stuff done. All right, next, we're going to jump in here, and you can pick any newsletter. Let me just stop my phone. So I'll go ahead and pick this one right here, and I'm just going to pick a blank template, and we're going to go ahead and start just from scratch so you can see how simple this is. Once you're in here, you have the ability to create mailing lists. So we'll go back to how to create a list, how to market, segment your list, and so forth. But for now, we're just going to design a newsletter. So first things first, how well you perform on your website and your blog is going to, as well as your YouTube account, is going to play a big role. Now, I'm pushing you to adopt a consistent email newsletter strategy, I have two things in mind. One, because obviously your client database, as I mentioned before, is your most valuable asset and probably most underutilized asset that you have. Secondly, because it is going to help force you to go back to basics when it comes to marketing. And marketing is all about having amazing quality content that can be repurposed over and over and over again and work for you with compounding interest over time. So I'm just going to pull up this article that I wrote for you guys last night, and I'm going to go over to here on the right hand side. It allows you to implement or it allows you to paste a particular link to a particular page or post or website or YouTube account or social account. So here we go. We have an article. This is the article. It automatically pulled this article from the website. I'm going to drag and drop this content right here. Once it's in here, I'm going to simply edit the text. Now, if you've been through my trainings in the past regarding email marketing, I have consistently given the same guidance as far as creating an email. An email should be, or each element of an email should be, a title, an excerpt, and a link that says read more or continue, and it drives people back to either your YouTube account, a social media account, or your website / blog. So here I may say organic SEO versus PPC pros and cons, for example. And I'm going to hit save on that. I now have a new title. I can also, if you want to change out the image, you can change out the image here. But you're going to notice it's automatically going to pull an excerpt from the beginning of that article. So if I slide this, actually I don't want to do that. I don't want to make it too small for you. If I click on here, you're going to see it's going to actually pull the description, which is the meta description of this post. So I'm going to go in and edit post. And once this pulls up, I'm going to scroll down to the SEO area. You'll see SEO check is good. I've got a green SEO check. I'm going to slide down to the bottom of this article, and you're going to see right here. Here is the excerpt, and this excerpt comes from a forced, which is right here. And I'm going to actually, I don't want this that long because I'm 96 characters over, as you can tell right here. This excerpt is a forced excerpt that comes directly from here. And this is your meta description. So my focused phrase for this was organic SEO versus pay-per-click. This isn't an on-page SEO class. That's next week. But you want to have one topic, one thought. Right now, this is very simply a variation of two primary key phrases in a versus or a comparative post. So here's my title. This is how it shows up on Google. You'll notice organic SEO versus pay-per-click is used here multiple times. Let's see here. I am actually going to make this a little bit shorter, and the reason I did that is you're going to notice, let's see, and I can't help but tell you about on-page SEO because it's just so important, but you're going to see I now have organic SEO versus pay-per-click used twice inside the description, once in the title, once in the meta description, or excuse me, the page URL. And this is what's pulling directly to your articles. Let me update that since I fixed it. I'm going to go back over here. Here's one article, and it automatically pulls it directly from my content. I'm going to go back to jenniferbagley.com and just do a simple search, and it's going to go through and it's going to pull content. So for you guys, if you have content on your site that you want to include in your newsletter, and let me make this clear. You are going to put the content on your website that you want to share in your newsletter, because I want it to become a permanent fixed asset for your business. Creating a newsletter and simply jumping in here and typing out all of your articles, there's no value, there's limited value in that. So I want to make sure you get the most leverage for every activity. Number one activity, create credible content. Number two activity, leverage that content across your email, social, search, video, and other marketing efforts as well. So I'm always going to give you a dissertation. All right, so there's one example. Now, if I want to pull up a specific article, I can do that. I'll go back over to jenniferbagley.com, and I saw another article that was posted. So this is women in leadership. So let's say I want to use this. It's an interview that I had with Data Girl Speakers booking agency. I'm going to go back to here, grab this article, paste, hit go. Actually, I'm not sure if that's live. Let me go ahead and grab another article for you. So I'll go back to blog. And let's go see what pulls up when I do a full blog. These are most of the videos that I've already used. So actually, while I'm in here, as you pull up different videos or different links, if you've already used them, then they're going to show up in here. And this essentially becomes a library you can pull from. So last week we did our webinar. For those of you that attended, it was on good backlinking strategies. I'm just going to grab that. I'm going to grab this video. And this is the Google Hangout that talks about Google's new requirement or request, or how should I say this? Google's now moving towards giving more credit and value towards websites that are built with HTTPS instead of HTTP. So let's say I want to include this video. I can simply go here. It's got a Google Hangout. You can edit the link URL. You can edit the text. So I'm going to say Google ES requirements. All right, so now I have another article, which is Google's HTTP requirement. Now, let's go ahead and edit a banner, pretty it up a little bit. You can add files to your banner, so I have some that are in here already. I'll just grab this particular banner. You can give it a title. CI Web Group in the loop. You can add in the date, you can add in the news, you can add in the issue, and so forth. You can also add in additional content. So say I want to add an image. This is really cool as well. This newsletter system, if you're familiar with some newsletter systems, it's a long process to build a library of images. Great part about this is it automatically connects all of your favorite social media and sites. So you can grab images directly off the internet, your computer, Facebook, Flickr, Instagram. You can grab a link URL, Picasa, Dropbox. For me, I'm Google Drive junkie. So I'll go in here. I'm going to go to my Google Drive account. And let's see here. I want to use quotes. And I'm going to go grab a Tony Jerry quote. And I'm going to upload this quote. And I have too much open. So let me refresh. So now I'm going in. I'm going to go to Flash Issue, and this time I'm going to go to the editor. And you do not need to have your window open so large. So don't increase your size when you're doing this. All right, so here's my newsletter, very simple. I'm going to go back to here, add content, add images. I don't think it liked that I had my screen so large. Add logos, add a quote. Let me just, on a side note, one of the things that is going to help you in your marketing efforts anytime is going to have a library of amazing images. We have a program where a client will subscribe to a monthly service, and every month they get new graphics, whether it's banners, quotes, marketing images, social media images. Sometimes it's white paper documents, PDF designs and so forth, but you want to create an amazing library of images, and that's absolutely going to help you. So here I added high achievers set up system, people, and processes to help them discover and see distinctions and achieve greater results. Great quote. So if I want to move this, it's very simple to move items around. So if I want to move this right below here, I can simply drag and drop this right here. If I want to add another piece of content, I can simply add another piece of content. Maybe on this one, I want to actually use text. I'll just copy this. Not that I would put a, see how cool I am, piece of text in a newsletter, but we'll just paste this here and say okay. And now I have a little piece of text, and maybe I want to drag this up to the top because it's an introduction to my newsletter. Simple, simple, simple. Adding call to action buttons and so forth, another easy way. So this newsletter automatically is going to save as you're going through. You can enter in any topic here, so I can say 12-step roadmap. And it's going to instantly pull up everything related to 12-step roadmap. So we have an article coming up here. Amy, I see you. So this must be a comment that you have. I'm curious to see what this is. Let me grab this and bring this over here. This is a testimonial, so I love that. Amy, I know you're on this call too. I saw that you registered. I'm going to look. Yes, yes, yes. Perfect. So this is a quote that's pulling from the front of the article. If I want to change the image, I can. Just simply edit the image, paste in a new link to a different image. All right. So another thing I can do is I can put in my YouTube channel, youtube.com/CI Web Live, and go ahead and search my own YouTube channel. And you guys, this is leveraging assets. So we're constantly creating new assets. Right now, we're creating an asset. This turns into a video. The video turns into a blog post. Blog post is accompanied by content, and that blog post and content is used in our SEO plan, on our email newsletter, in our social media marketing. And you guys, it's not about creating a mass amount of content. It's about prioritizing top to bottom what you need to do and getting it done. Creating quality content. Sometimes I see people that on their blogs, they put in 3 or 4 lines, or they may go to their blog and write a quick excerpt or a blurb. That's not going to work. My guess is if I asked each one of you in your industries, is it important to you to become an authority in your industry? You would say yes. In order to become an authority, you have to actually be an authority. And the way to be an authority is to produce original, powerful content that is worthy of people reading it, of someone spending their precious time reading that content or listening to that video, or like you are, attending this webinar. So we created a marketing video. This is a company marketing video. I may drag this down. And let me go ahead and add it here, and then I'll scroll down, and I'm going to drag this down here to the very bottom in case somebody wants to know who we are. Now, if somebody was to click on this, it's going to automatically pull them up, and it's going to go over to that video.
The ability. Google Hangout.
Blake!
And
I just had to show you.
Strategies in seminars from CI Web.
Okay. I see Blake on the call as well. All right, so here, if I want to watch this Google webinar, I can watch this Google webinar. You can go down to the bottom. You can add in, I added in a little footer that's on the bottom in here that has one of our CD sets and so forth. So just kind of giving you an idea. This is one sample. I'm going to go ahead and click preview. It's going to pull up this newsletter in a preview. Is it fancy? I don't know. Is it clean? And did I just create our email newsletter in less than 3 minutes? And that was with all of my ADHD dissertations on the side? Absolutely. Now, you definitely have got to get creative. So here's your newsletter. It automatically comes with, so I'm going to view it in the web browser so you can see it. It automatically comes with all of your social media links, the ability to share, the ability to comment, the ability to forward this newsletter to someone else. And most importantly, this newsletter is driving people back to your website, back to your social media sites. And I didn't do that. Let's go do that. So let's say you've got we've got one of our clients' parenting app. If you own a if I said if you own a teenager, if you have a teenager, you need to own this app. It's parentingapp.com, but this is a project we're working on with them. They've got a big Kickstart program that's going to launch. They've got to have a substantial amount of friends and fans and followers. They're doing a great job, but of course, more is better. So this is a great way to drive people back to your social media accounts. And you can simply add that. Now, a lot of these newsletters have them. Let's go ahead and say design. You can add background colors. I can change the background color to this, and I can put a black background behind it, or you can put a red. I probably shouldn't do red. That's a no-no. But let me go ahead and add a black background. Now, preview the same newsletter. Very clean. Extremely clean, easy. Newsletters, really three things matter. One, the quality and design of your graphics. Don't do it yourself. Just because you got a program that works like Photoshop, the free version, doesn't mean you should design your own graphics. So have a design team design your graphics. It's not expensive, and the difference between quality design and your graphics is massive. Stay away from clip art. Stay away from paid images. Anytime you can use real graphics, real pictures, custom design images, that automatically is going to improve your results, the quality, your open rate, your send rate, and so forth. So things to avoid: doing graphics yourself, using clip art, stock photos. Avoid all of those. You want custom and real graphics that are included in there. Great part is if you're managing your website done properly, the same rules apply on your website. You want to stay away from the exact same things on your site. So, and having custom graphics, that's number one. Number two is having a message that's important to people. Having content that is important. So if somebody's really, really challenging, and I know a handful of prospects I'm talking to right now that are really, really debating where do they allocate their budget to. And if this is something that you are hearing over and over, so we go back to marketing 101. If you're answering the same question over and over and over again, it's your job to take that question, get it into, digitize the answer to that question, and now you're able to send this email out that has that same question that people can check it out. If I wanted to, I would change the title on this. It says register for training or something like that. I've got a great graphic that breaks it up. I've got 2 videos at the end. What I'm missing is call to actions. I'm not telling anybody to do anything here. So I'm going to jump out of here. I'm going to go into my editor. Next. And let's say, actually, let's go into drafts. And I'm going to pull this one up real quick. That's what I just did. Let's see here. I believe this is the one I was making this for you last night, but I just crapped out. I got involved in another project that became a priority. All right. So on this newsletter, you notice the difference here versus the other one is this has a call to action. So incredible graphics, great content, and a call to action. Your call to actions may be to register for a webinar, sign up for a complimentary consultation, get a free evaluation, get a quote, follow us on our social media accounts. So you may do, I'm just looking to see who's on here. We have quite a few people who are launching new websites that are on the call. Hands down, most important, right now you need to be preparing that list to be able to announce your new website launch. So the second you go live for that website, or even more, if you build momentum and inside your newsletter you drop in information that says you're going to be going live with a new newsletter, and so forth. That's a great call to action as well. If I was going to do a newsletter a website launch announcement, I would make the very, very first thing on here. New website, check it out. This website is designed to be able to provide you with better access to information, easier way to find our products and services, and we have an event calendar for local business events in your area, whatever that is. But what are the benefits, or what were the top 2 or 3 priorities for your website? And you're going to want to communicate that to them. And a call to action is simply a button that stands out in a bright color off the page, and it tells them to do something. Another thing you may need to do, if you are really trying to build, as I was telling you with parenting, really trying to build your social media presence, friends, fans, and followers, you can do a campaign that is just driving people back to, and you can make it one newsletter that's driving people back to your Facebook fan page account. So here, I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to go www.facebook.com/ I think it's Miss Jennifer Bagley. So I'm going to go directly to my Facebook account and we'll see what we pull. Okay, so here's my a link to my Facebook account. So let's say this was just trying to drive back prospects to my Facebook account. I may change this title and say, we just launched a new Facebook fan page. Please connect with us and stay engaged in conversations at, and then you have a link to your Facebook account. So if somebody clicks on this link, it's going to instantly pull them over to my fan page. And hopefully on your fan page, you have lots of things going on. And that's another training in itself. All right, so creating a newsletter, simply. First and foremost, we got to go back to Marketing 101, which is content, content, content. If you need help with content, we can help prepare a list of key phrases that you need to have content for, prioritize those phrases, take those primary service or product pages, and then drill down into what are the variations of that content that you need to have. So your article may be, let's see here. Let me just pull somebody on here. Trinity Event Staffing. Thanks for joining us, you guys. So Trinity Event Staffing, one of their services is wait staff. Another one is security staff. Another one is chefs. Any kind of staffing you need for an event, these guys provide it. So I may have the primary phrases, and they would need 1 page per primary phrase, which would be bartender staffing, security staffing, chef staffing, wait staff staffing, and so forth. And the secondary phrases would be the wraparound phrases. So it would be interview practices for security staffing companies, or how to choose the best security. So it may be security staffing, how to choose the best, or what questions to ask, or what to avoid. So first and foremost is content, content, content. If you can't write it yourself, shoot, cough up 50. Usually it's $50 if it's an SEO article. It's $300 if you're working with a freelance writer who's an incredible writer, and they're going to interview you and they're going to personalize it. If you're just working for SEO, straight SEO, then start with something. A lot of times, you guys, it's easier to take something that's been written and edit it than it is to start from scratch. But if you have to spend a couple $100 or a few $100 on creating something that's going to work for you for the rest of your business life, I shouldn't say if. I'm going to say knock it out. If the question is if you're not going to do it yourself, then the answer is you've got to get that outsourced. If you want to be part of that bulk order we have going on, just let us know. I know Blake did recently. Blake is so funny. We Scan Files. He's been with us for like a decade. And the other day he popped into our house because he does work for us. He scans all of our corporate files and contracts and everything. So he pops into the house and literally sits down. And anytime he shows up, he knows how to work this deal. I think he's got this down. When he shows up, we drop everything and we move to Blake. And so we pull up We Scan Files. We pull up their SEO reports. We start looking at everything inside and out. We start fixing things. We start checking what do you have, what are you missing, what's new. And when we pulled up his key phrase report and we started looking at what do we want to concentrate on for the next 6 months, how has your business changed, how has the market changed in the landscape, first thing I did, which I think Blake's answer was be careful. I think he said something like, oh, be careful. Yes, he did bring pizza. He brought lunch. Blake said, be careful what you ask for, because every time he comes here, it creates work for us, for him, for all of us, right? That's what marketing is work. But we made this list, and I was like, you know what I'm going to ask for, right? And he was like, content. And he was like, you know what? I want it done. I want it done in 7 days, and I don't want to do it. Can you make that happen? The answer is yes. So that's smart. That is how to do this. Now, he'll get the foundational content done. It'll be done in 7 days. It'll be posted. It'll be optimized. It'll be ran through his social media sites, put on a posting schedule for him. And then, a month or two from now, the next thing is, he said, he looked at me and said, get your... I did send him to his car to go get his computer. You can't come in here without a computer. Okay, but that is smart. This is, it shouldn't be some long, drawn-out process. It needs to be, here's a list of phrases, get the content done. Your content needs to be 1,000 words. 1,500 is best. 1,000 is okay, is good. 300 to 500 is last year. I almost said last year. Inside that 1,000 to 1,500 words, you need to use your primary key phrase at least once every 100 words. So if it's 1,000 words, then you're going to use it 10 times. 1,500 words, you're going to use it 15 times. There are grading tools, and you guys, I think let's jump over here. Let's jump to, we're in blog. Let me show you another tool, because this will help you right here. On Tuesday, August 19th, I posted blog post quality review tool. So I want you to, it's quite a mouthful, but bottom line is, there is a tool right here. It says looking for a tool that will evaluate the blog post quality. So there's two different kinds of quality, and this is going to be important for your email newsletters as well. One is, are you meeting Google's requirements? So are you doing what a search engine is going to want you to do when they crawl that article? And second is that article communicating well with real people? So we tend to concentrate on SEO first because I need eyeballs to read that. However, in a newsletter, you're also going to have to make those changes that are going to improve the readability to a real person. So right here, evaluate your blog post. Check this out. So everyone knows that content matters. Online is one of the most significant pieces of any marketing plan, whether it's a newsletter, email, social media, and so forth. Quality of your blog post matters. This entire article is going to go through, and I actually made a list for you of all of the things that are important. Readability, emotions. So if you're an NLP expert, or if you understand NLP, being able to capture somebody's emotions in your content is important. Impact. Are you making an impact? Force. Make sure you are emotionally influencing. Polarity. Make sure the content is original. If you guys are not sure if content is original, let me give you a tool for that too. I should have included it in there. Copyscape. If you're ever having a content writer do work for you, you need to also ask that they run that content through Copyscape. You cannot and do not want duplicate content on your site, and duplicate content can be created so many ways. If you attended last week's webinar, you'll see all of the mistakes people do on their websites. There are a lot of mistakes people do on their websites, which actually hurts them and their efforts. So that's one thing. Write down Copyscape. That's a great tool for you. So back to, these are the audience elements, things that are important to your audience. Next, structure elements. You need to choose one focus or a niche key phrase. Your article should be between 500 and 1,500 words. I said that because I want you to aim for 1,000. Your focus key phrase should be the first couple of words in your title. So just remember this when it comes to writing. Titles, descriptions, content, front load key phrases. So if you had an article that you were writing, let's say Pat Ferretti, okay, BFS in Law. You guys were writing an article and it was top 10 things to consider when hiring a mediator. That's not front loaded. So what you're optimizing, or the front of that, is the top 10 things to consider when hiring, which has very, very little value. So you may, or a different variation, front loading key phrases would be hiring or a mediation attorney, top 10 things to know. So think about that when you're writing your titles. Front load your key phrases. That is going to help you on your email marketing campaigns, your SEO campaigns, your search, and so forth. You should use so you guys, I give you a lot of tips. This right here, the structure, the elements, this is for SEO. Again, one key phrase. Your article should be 500 to 1,500 words. I don't know if I have on here, make sure it's original. I do up here, but use CopyStape to make sure that your content's original. Your focus key phrase should be the first couple words of your title. Again, front load. Just think about a front load washing machine. That's how SEO works. You should focus on your key phrase at least once every 100 words. You should front load your focus key phrase in the front of your titles. Heading tags, which are your H1, H2, H3 tags, and your meta descriptions, which we're going to talk about this next week. You need to ensure your focus key phrase is included in your permalink towards the front. Yesterday, I was doing an analysis on a client's website. It was an HVAC site, and we were up until almost 3 o'clock in the morning going through this person's site. We pulled it up. It had like 99 or something critical errors to look at, and one of the errors was URL too long. They literally, imagine seeing an article that said www.yoursite.com/how-to create quality content that is going to help your customers make a decision to do business with you versus do business with someone else. Literally, these article titles were massive, massive, massive. So we went through their site beginning to end, changed all their titles, redid their meta descriptions, resubmitted all those pages to Google's, and hopefully are going to help them eliminate that, because they were trying to do the right thing, which is creating content, but on the flip side, they were making these massive, massive article titles. I'll edit this, and I'm going to put a couple things in here. You have 160 characters in your meta description. You have around 60 characters you can use in your titles. Your permalink at max should maybe be 3, 4, or 5 phrases, depending on what you're doing. If you're writing a blog, you could probably go up to about 7 or 8, but you want it to be less than that. So you really want to think about what are the titles of your articles. Your titles are going to automatically generate your permalink, which is up here, and that's going to matter when you're doing a search, when you're writing your email newsletters. You should link key phrases into your content to other posts that are relevant. So, for example, such as how to write more blog posts, or website design requirements. So right here, I've got 2 other things that are important to this article, but I've already got articles written about them, so there's links that are going directly to there. Next week, I'm going to show you how to do that and show you how to do that fast. Next one, linguistics. Okay, this is where I fail miserably. I'm okay at this. I'm great at this, because that's how my brain works. This, not so much. So for those of you that are major grammar buffs, and it comes easy to you, that's great. For me, that is a major headache, and this is easy to me. So we all end out in the wash in the same place. Avoid grammar issues. Google will penalize you for grammar issues as well as people. Avoid spelling issues. Google will penalize you for spelling issues, as will people. Check your content evaluation using a content evaluator to ensure quality post content. So I gave you a little tool. Let's go ahead and pull this tool up and let's check it out. This is just these guys are content writers. Let's see. They have got a new website as of today. So let me see where their content analyzer is. No. Apps. Knowledge Center. No. Audience insights. Okay, I think this is it. There we go. So it is now Engager Lite. So I'm going to take this content. We'll go ahead and throw me up against the wall, and I'll use myself as the example. So you guys, just so you know where it is, and I'll go change those links as well. It's called Atomic Engager Lite. This is a cool tool these guys have created. All right, let's go back to Engager Lite. I'm going to not do that. I'm going to go to this. I'm going to grab this content, top to bottom. Let me just say this. It is more important, and I probably stress this a lot, it is more important to have a handful of extremely well written, extremely well optimized, quality content than it is to blog every day. So this is not about time. This is not about pumping out articles 1,000. This is about prioritizing what the phrases are, prioritizing what the variations are, and investing in incredible content. If you want somebody that's going to manage all of these things that I have on here, you're probably looking at a real copywriter who's going to interview you. They've written books and so forth, and you may be looking at around $100 to $300 per article. If you're looking at somebody to get it started and get the nuts and bolts of the SEO stuff out of the way, you're looking at, like we did on a bulk order for $20 an article. Normally it's $50 an article. You're looking at an SEO writer for 1,000 words. That's about what you can consider. Now, you can go through and you can say, is your audience general, specialist, knowledgeable, or academic, and hit score now. I've already subscribed, so I don't need to worry about that. And let's let this thing analyze this article. Score now. I like score. All right, so I'm scoring a 72. Let's see here. It's going to tell you your top opportunities. So your title needs work. Click here to find out why, or hit title to find out why. So I can go in here, I can click on title. Your title is not optimal and it's in major need of refinement. Write a headline inspired by positive or negative emotions. So I want you to take this with a grain of salt. Remember, you have two audiences. If your website does not have the rank and positioning that you want, so if you're not on the front page of Google for your primary key phrases, then your number one is going to be do what Google wants, which is going to be more bullet point, more analytical in your thought. If your website's on page 1 of Google, you need to be thinking about something different, which is how to create content that's emotionally engaging and is going to inspire readers or your audience to take action. So here you get the best of both worlds. You have an SEO analyzer, which is in the back of your WordPress sites, and you have your Engager analyzer, which is what are people going to think about this. So write a headline that's inspired by positive or negative emotions. Readers tend to share articles that are exciting or cause an emotional reaction. Pack a punch with the one or four superlatives to create a title that resonates with the reader. Studies show that using anything in between becomes ineffective. So you're talking about readers. Consider using a second person. You, yours, your. The readers will relate to it more when you are addressing them in the article. Numbers are easier to read than words. List articles, top 10 list, top 10 things to avoid, top 3 questions to ask, top 3 things to consider. And I'm throwing my own stuff in here because I'm saying that all the time. Will get you higher engagement if you use digits instead of spelling out numbers. Instructional articles, step-by-steps, how-to guides. This is critical if you're an interior designer, if you are in an HVAC company. The greatest way to get a maintenance provider is to tell somebody how to do something and it's too hard for them and they hire you to get it done. But if you don't write the article, how to change your filters, how to choose a filter, how to clean your outside air conditioning units, how to protect them from winter, if you don't have those how-tos on your site, they're not going to find you anyway. So you don't have to worry about teaching somebody to do it themselves and you're not getting the business, because if you don't have the content, they're not going to find you and they're going to find somebody else or do it themselves anyway. So take the shot, increase your odds, create a how-to in order to be able to capture those people that are looking. And I'll tell you what, we live in a day and age and time where information is readily available and it stretches the world in a capacity that we've never seen before. Hiding information, trying to bury your private information under a rock is no longer an option. Because somebody is going to teach them how to. So that's important as well. So outside of strategy. So you guys go through this, do the same thing. Audience, content sophistication. I can do this all day long. Your content hit is a hit for your audience. For structure, I told you what I'm good at, right? Key phrase, perfect. Content length, perfect. All links are valid, so it's going to check the structure of your site. We already did audience. And I told you where I fail. Content emotion, impact. Your content needs to be more stimulating, which is why I just do a video and then throw the video in there. You need to have more stimulating language to engage your readers. Force. Your content is clear, but it could be more emotionally influencing. So read up on NLP. Polarity. Your content evokes strong negative or positive emotions for the reader. Grammar, insights. Oh, blah. Suck. Okay, so yeah, that would be something I will fail at miserably. The language of your article is clear and concise without being redundant. So very simple tools. You guys, we're running out of time here. I hope this information is valuable. First and foremost is understanding what are your consumers looking for, prioritizing those phrases, and changing your thoughts so you can change your behavior so you can change your results. First and foremost, a good score to have, you want to be, so it says aim for, good question, Dr. Ozzie, functionalmedicincenter.com. I can't wait for your new website to go live. On a side note. Aim for a score of 60 or higher to create a better impact with your audience. You can keep working on getting your articles perfect and rescoring it until you're happy with it. So you are, this is how I would do it. This is just me. But I would, which I just did this. I just created a list of all of the, primary SEO phrases for Jennifer Bagley 12-Step Roadmap and CI Web Group. CI Web Group is the worst disaster on the planet as far as websites. If you're watching this right now, I think we're in August of 2014. This is video, so I have to put that disclaimer on it. Worst website we have, and I can never get on the list. I was supposed to be on the list last night. I got pushed back again for somebody else. But I just created all those key phrases. So what I'm doing is I sent those off to the SEO writer. I totally took advantage of that bulk order. I have them writing all of those articles. I got my first one back last night, which was motivational keynote speaker, and it was for Jennifer Bagley. The article's freaking awesome. It's 1,000 words. I literally last night might have spent 15 minutes. It's totally written for SEO, perfect for SEO. I dropped it in the Engager thing. It came back as, I think, a 55. I went in and made very small changes, modified some of the languaging, dropped it in here, got a 74, I think, or 70, and boom, I'm done. 5 minutes. So for me, I want it out of the way. I want all of my phrases. I've always neglected my own sites because we're always focused on clients. I think that's true in some industries. So now I'm actually paying attention to it. But I have to pay attention to it differently because we generate so much referral business. I'm not hugely in need of SEO clients. So somebody coming to the website that doesn't know who we are, we get a lot of referral business. So I do care about the quality of the content for you as a reader. And so for me, $20, drop the content in there, edit the article. So drop it in the Engager Lite, edit the article and put your twist on it. So it sounds like your company. It sounds like your brand. It sounds like you write, like you talk. You've got to make sure that the language is that people know it's you. That is that's important. And then when I'm done, I'd get them all done. I'd send them to my SEO team, let them knock it out, send them to the social media team, let them get them in schedule, and move on to working on the business and let those things work for me. And I'd put that on my calendar where once a month, that's what I did. Once a month, I went through that process. To me, it's inexpensive and it's not very time consuming, and I'm totally investing in things that are going to produce compounding results so I can work on things that I'm rotten at, which is sending out email newsletters. So back to this, and first, foremost, and final, the goal is you've got a network, you have a database, you have a list of people you've done business with. We've got to make sure we're leveraging that asset for your web search, social, and for your business, for referrals and so forth. So you'll expect to be getting our newsletters. I'm going to commit to this process with you because I am on the list of people who say I'm going to do it over and over and over, year after year after year. And I'm great at producing incredible content, horrible at getting this content to the people who are actually on my list. I'm great at getting all this content to anybody and everybody in my social media networks and all over the internet, but I'm absolutely horrible at getting it to the people that matter most. And so I am personally making a commitment to change my thoughts and my behaviors, and I'm hoping you do the same as well. You guys, I appreciate you attending today, and I look forward to having you next week. We're going to concentrate on-page SEO, and we're going to knock it out of the park. I'm actually going to handpick any of our SEO clients that are listening in on this. If you want us to use your site as the example, which means we're going to be pulling up all the intricacies of the what's wrong, what's not wrong, and we're going to go through and we're going to correct and fix anything you may have in your site. Then just shoot me a message. Let me know that you want to be one of our I don't even know what to say, one of our pedestal clients that we're going to help fix, regardless of what size plan you're on or how many hours you have. You'll get time dedicated specifically to you. So with that, thank you so much for attending. Please invite somebody else, and we will send out the recording for this week and last week in our new email newsletter. If you have any questions, jump on our website, jenniferbagley.com, go to the blog post, and you can ask questions there, and we'll be happy to help you out. Thanks again.